everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's the 512th and final game of the regular season, and we've got a good one between the Washington Redskins and our home team. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They go play action here on first down. And his first look is incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doctson, and that'll bring up second down. They'll look to throw here. Finding time. Josh Doctson's got it complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there? You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. Third down now following the run. Play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far. Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question. Yeah, that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down. So let's take a look here at the key inactives. And, Charles, I guess you get this late in the year, you expect to see some guys populating on this list.
You're exactly right. No one's happy about it, but it really shouldn't be a surprise. So the guys who are playing in their spots, in their stead, they have to step up now and make big plays for their team.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit, but his teammates get all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed. One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. So the defense gets the pick. The offense, Charles, they go backwards, but they do get 3 points.
Very happy to get to 3, but you know who's happier? The defensive team on the other side. They shut them down after the turnover.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Detroit! 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 Here we go now!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up and swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Their dangerous wide receiver with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
All right, here we go.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll run it now out of the gun. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. The whole group of Raiders there that time helped bring him down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And that is incomplete. Here's Tressway now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. taken in at the 22. And he'll be out of bounds up near midfield at the 49. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Raiders will take possession. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking middle, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Caught on the left side by Benjamin. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll look to throw again, and his throw here's incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he's able to bat it away.
Back to throw here. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And heading out for another drive, the Raiders defense. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum.
There he goes left side. He's at the 40. Touchdown, Washington. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins get the quick strike touchdown. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
They'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter.
Now let's go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it second down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Benjamin's got it. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Raiders a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They were looking to get it to Kelvin Benjamin there, and it brings up 4th down.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception, almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, here we go. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Now back to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. The defense in an enviable position here. The offense needs 13 yards. It's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and they just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now. They made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
This is taken at the 23. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go-around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Second down now after the incompletion. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. And he comes back with one complete. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence. In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And now here's a carry heading left. They find some open field here. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. 22 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be first down, Redskins.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On second down, it's Jones. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses. And now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, Parker. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now a play fake here on first down. On the move to his left. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They come out 5 wide. 3 of them to the right side. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
He'll look to throw. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And they pick up the first down there with a gain of 4. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. They'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Watch it now, Barney.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Their big-bodied receiver as the first half is winding down. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. So we've come up. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Well, Brandon, so much for halftime adjustments. They still can't get anything going on the ground. It may be time to loosen things up and start flinging it around a little bit.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure it out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted. Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. So out come the Raiders. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Wow,
the
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Jones on the return.
Come on, not fair.
Return team. First down.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Out of the gun now on third down. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. The Redskins send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's taken on the 25. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory. But the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. And certainly not the same level of production this week as last. A couple of those catches last week, he was able to just find the soft spot, sit there, and corral it. I don't know what it is. He seems to be really covered up in this one, though.
Yeah, no soft spots here, and I put this on the play caller a little bit. Got to find some things that will shake him free. Maybe you change your formations and make him an isolated guy on the backside so it's a one-on-one route. Maybe you put him into a stack and maybe hide him a little bit so that maybe he finds some place to run. You just got to come up with different opportunities to get the ball in his hands just to get him open and get him moving.
A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down. And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain. Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Back to throw again. And this is incomplete. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. shift together here from the D-line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. He's brought down that time by a couple of Raiders.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Going to throw right side here, complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Decent chunk of yardage still left here, 2nd and 7.
Here we go.
Back to throw here. And Kelvin Benjamin's got it. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. So it is third down now, but less than a yard to go. They'll come out in the pistol. And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 5 lines in the game, 4 of them to the right side. They'll look to throw now on first down. And his throw is incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. Here's Tressway now. He's been terrific so far. Fielded at the 20. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points. And we know that's not true. Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment. The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they timed it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. The strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up 1st downs and keeping the football.
Looking to throw, and he slings one that's incomplete. Second down here after the incomplete pass. Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play. And you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch. And then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And he's got it up and through. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here.
And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack in there to get him. And that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Out of the gun now on third down. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Whether they deserve credit or not, the defense is going to take credit for that incompletion because it always feels good when you slow down an offense.
Fielded just inside the 30. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
18 yards on the pickup there. And the Raiders are going to have a first down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
And you know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. They'll look to throw again. And Reed with it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I'd have to say they're feeling like they are in rhythm right now. Things are in sync, aren't they? Team's winning, got a nice little margin on the scoreboard, completing some passes, and they just completed another one for a first down there to the tight end.
Wide open receiver complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Their dangerous wide receiver with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing the slant pattern here, complete. The 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And they're going to speed things up here. Looking to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
They'll look to throw. All kinds of time. His throw caught at about the 5. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Look at the time. His throw incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
They come out here in the eye. An encroachment penalty here, maybe just a mental lapse, partner.
Sometimes you have to just watch the football. Make sure it's snapped before you're jumping.
Defense. Still second down.
Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start. Offense.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Now we've got whistles here before the snap. Was this on the Redskins? I think so.
False start. Offense.
The offense staring at a 3rd and 12 here. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
False start, offense.
And following that penalty, the offense really backed up now on third down. He'll look to throw. Can't find anyone open. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first. But at least it's fourth down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the third time tonight. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. And Frank's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
And now here come the Raiders. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right? And sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Face mask. Defense.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They're going to look to throw. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over.
If you try to shut us down, we'll show you just how we get down. And just to even up the score, we're coming kicking down your door.
Y'all never played fair, so tell me why now should we care? Queen Bee told y'all a long time ago that we run the atmosphere.